Good morning, grade 10s. How's everyone doing? Give me those green check marks. Let me know that you're alive. I'm with you, Jocelyn. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, before we actually get into what we are doing today, I want to make sure that we're very, very clear on where we are heading for the last couple of weeks. That's right, weeks. We've got like 2 weeks left, you guys, and that's like it. It's so crazy how fast this semester has gone. So I want to make sure, I think I sent out a message to you guys yesterday around where we're kind of heading in the next couple of weeks. We are going to focus on ADC and planning for the last 2 weeks with a sprinkling of English, just with we need to finish up our book chats, right? That sort of thing. So other than that, really English, I'm not introducing anything new, okay? So I'm gonna go over what needs to be accomplished for English, and then we'll head into ADC and planning as well. All right, okay. So I wanted to start out at the calendar though, to make sure that in the next couple of weeks here, you guys know what is happening, right? All right. So this week, really all we're focusing on is getting back into a routine. That would be nice. And this Friday, you guys have cross-country skiing. So it looks like for the rest of the semester on the Fridays, you guys have cross-country skiing. I highly recommend it, you guys. It's amazing. I'm just gonna clear the poll here. How many of you guys plan on going cross-country skiing? Just even give me green check marks. Oh, you guys, come on. Yeah, you guys, it's so much fun. So much fun. And it will be a good break for you guys, right? It's super important. I know this is a super stressful time with exams coming up and the final, like around end semester, but you guys still need to stay active, okay? That's super important. Don't get bogged down doing schoolwork for like 10 hours a day. That's not gonna help you. You need to stay physically active as well, right? We need to work out that life balance. So I do recommend you guys going cross-country skiing. It is so much fun. All right, so those are what is happening on the Fridays, okay, for the rest of the semester. Looks like on the 16th, we have, oh, there you go, Kyla. And that works too, right? At least you're getting some physical activity. So I'll excuse you then, Kyla, that's okay. All right, so looks like on the 16th, you guys have the Kelowna Museum. Oh, and it's to be announced. So I don't know if Mr. Fender has that organized yet. But again, and I'm sure Miss Mack has gone over the math stuff with you for the final exams, you guys. But again, we're probably going to go over it with you guys every single day to make sure that it is in your brains. All right. So your math final exam, okay, it's only for those of you that are taking foundations, and it's going to be online, and you have to take it from the 22nd to the 24th. So sometime in that time period, right, is when you need to be doing your online final exam. Now, I myself am a little bit more mean. I'm making you come in and actually do a final exam, right, you guys? No online for me. All right. Now, obviously, there's some exceptions. Sean, Caitlin, right? Obviously, there's some exceptions. But if you are in Kelowna, I do expect you to be here at McWilliams for the final exam, okay? So you are completing your English final exam here at McWilliams from 1 to 3. It is in the afternoon, okay? Because there's a virtual field trip happening in the morning, okay? You need to arrive a few minutes early, okay, to make sure that you are well equipped and set up and have your computer ready to go, right, Belle? If you are going to type out your exam, absolutely. So you guys are more than welcome to bring your laptops with you, okay? Make sure to bring in a cord, right, to plug in just in case. I will have a couple of laptops available as well if need be, okay? Or I will have good old-fashioned paper and pen and pencil. So it's totally up to you guys, okay, how you want to actually write it. It is going to be a 5-paragraph essay. I am going to give you the topic on, let me just go back to the calendar, if my exam's there. I will probably give it to you guys on the 18th, okay? Okay, on the 18th is when I will give you the topic. And I haven't decided yet. I don't know if I'm going to give you 2 topics and you guys can decide which one you want to do. Haven't decided yet, or if I'm just going to throw one at you. I'm not too sure yet. Okay? Absolute. Let me think about that one, Belle. Okay? With dictionary and thesaurus. Okay, let me think about that one. Does that make sense? Okay, Belle? Give me some time to think about that. Okay? All right, so that's the English final exam, you guys. It looks like at the end of the month to you guys, you've got some drama lessons coming up, some art lessons, that sort of thing. Make sure you keep an eye on that calendar. All right, now I think that's it that I want to mention. Oh, and then we're going to be starting classes for second semester, right, for science and socials and foods and PE on the 29th. Okay, so that following week. So once you write your English exam, you actually have a couple of days off. And then we've got the 29th is when we start back up. Okay? So we give you some breathing room. Whew. All right. So I think that's all I want to mention about the calendar. Now, if you guys head to English, like I said, for English, you guys, I am not giving you guys any more assignments in English, okay? Obviously, except the final exam, okay? I don't really include that. No more assignments, okay? Now, just take note here, you guys, what you still need to hand in, okay? These were our practice assignments, right? I didn't really give you any marks for these. These were like complete, incomplete. Doesn't mean you don't have to do them because they were practice, right? Where you are handing in your 3 for your novel that you read, or novels, is, where did I put it? Right here, reading strategy hand in. So 3 of the reading strategies from the novel that you've been reading for your Lit Circle have to be handed in this hand in. And I think a few of you tried to hand it in and I didn't have it, the settings correct. It was only letting you upload like 1. I've got that fixed now, right? You should easily be able to hand in 3 sheets, okay? The second thing that I wanted to mention around Lit Circles, you guys, is our discussion group, right? Like our coffee shop talks, okay? Sorry, I had to change the date yesterday. Angelina and Kaylin I had to get my daughter to ringette early that day. They changed the time of practice on me. So I couldn't do it, but I've just moved it to next Monday, okay? So Jocelyn, exactly. Everybody needs to make sure if you haven't signed up for at least 1 people, you need to be on this sheet. Everybody's name should be on this sheet. By the end of the day today, everybody's name should be on this sheet. Okay? Everybody's. Okay? You have to do at least 1 discussion group. Okay? Sorry, Caitlin. So when you go into where it says sign up for coffee shop talk, it'll take you to a little link, or it takes you to a Google Doc. So this is the sign up right here. Oh, look, somebody's already there. All right. So you want to make sure that whatever, look, there you go, Jocelyn. Perfect. Okay, and then whatever novel you're reading, that's where you need to sign up. So today, right, it's already, we're doing the Absolute True Diary of Part-Time Indian. Oh, look, Emily. Jessica's putting her name down. Same times, 2:30 to 3:30, you guys, except on next Monday, you'll notice, because I have to do 2 novels. So I took the 2 shorter ones, Someday and Sugar Falls, and did a half hour for each one. Okay, so that's what it is. So please make sure you sign up for one of those coffee shop talks. Once we're done that, make sure you come with your prep sheet ready to go, right? That's in here. You need to come prepared. And then also, this is where you guys' actual assignment comes in. This is that discussion group assessment. So in here, I've put in a rubric for you guys, and you'll see, okay? So this is what the rubric looks like, okay? So are you actively listening? Are you contributing? Are you participating? And are you prepped? Which means, do you have your prep sheet ready to go? Okay? So make sure that you are ready to go for your coffee shop talk as well. Again, just like you guys would have noticed, just let me head back. I'm just going to head back to the sign up sheet. You'll notice if you can't actually come, you guys, you'll notice here, like Angelina, Jocelyn, right, Kaylin, if you can't actually make it to the coffee shop or here to McWilliams, you just put online in brackets so I know who I need to send my Zoom code to. Okay, that sort of thing. Jocelyn, if you can only do 1, then that's fine, but just realize that that is going to be what your mark is based on. Okay, so you obviously won't get like a practice one, right? So just realize that. Okay, perfect. All right, the last thing I want to mention, you guys, is, so the strategy worksheets are due January 11th, so by the end of this week, okay? And same with the discussion group. No, Kyla, this is the last week. So unless you're reading Someday and Sugar Falls, then it's on Monday. Okay? So whichever book you're reading, you need to get in there. The dates are on that sheet. Okay? So yeah, perfect. Okay? So Caitlin, you can sign up for Monday, right? The last thing is the major project, right? Which is the tic-tac-toe, okay? 2:30 to 3:30, Kyla. And sometimes, Kyla, it doesn't take a full hour, right? It just depends on how our discussion goes, but definitely at 2:30 is when we're starting, okay? So the tic-tac-toe final project, you guys, is due by the end of the week as well. If there are any questions on that, please send them my way, all right? Remember, you have to do at least 3 out of the 9, and it has to be in a row, right? Whether it's horizontal, vertical, diagonal, whatever it is. But you have to complete 3, okay? Now, that's it for English. And then obviously the final exam, okay? So by the end of this week, we should be done English. All right, is that clear? Give me a green check mark if we are clear and understanding on what we need to complete for English. Good. Good. Good, I'm seeing the green check marks start to flow in. Perfect. And like I said, you guys, if you have an assignment or if you have any questions, please send them my way. All right? That is English. Now, one more thing. I'm going to head back to the calendar because I just remembered, you guys. Before, Caitlin P., your discussion prep sheet is done before. Okay, and then we actually bring that sheet to the discussion talk, and we use it to kick off our discussion. Okay? Yeah, so it's done before. All right. Mark cutoff, you guys. I wanted to mention this too. I believe Miss Mac put her cutoff, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, the 17th? Right? Is that when she was putting her mark cutoff, right? So I will go on the 18th, right? Because that's the last day I see you guys. Okay, so my mark cutoff is going to be the 18th. So basically, last day of classes. All right? Now, another heads up to you guys is that during our live time here too, really our last couple of class times together are going to be a lot of work time. Okay, I want to give you guys as much time as possible to get this done. And I do want good jobs, right? I don't want, you know, rushed work. So I do want you guys, I want to give you some time. Now, we are going to finish up this, the careers unit, the planning my journey. I always call it the careers unit because it's really, you're looking at your career, right? Your potential career for planning. Now, over the holidays, I asked you guys to do basically you're selecting your plan A and plan B, your related occupations, and doing your research behind your plan A and plan B, right? A chunk of you guys got it done, okay? A majority of you guys probably did not, okay? It is, and I wanted it due today. So today I'm gonna give you the rest of the class to be working on this, but I'm also putting in the last part of this because what this does, you guys, yeah, Caitlin, I read your message and we're gonna, once I go off the live classroom, Caitlin, I'm gonna work with you, okay? And we're gonna figure this out. So what we're gonna do is, what these assignments do, you guys, is really build on each other, right? The first one, that personal inventory, goes back to really remind yourself what your strengths are. Gets you thinking about some scenarios, right? Do you think you'd be able to work outside versus inside? Do you want to work with people versus things? Do you want to, right? It starts giving you some, you know, meshing your strengths with where you kind of see yourself in a career, in a broad sense, right? Then we get into selecting your plan A and B, and that's all you're doing. You're doing a little bit, you're doing some quizzes, you're doing a little bit of research behind what you think you might want to do, and you just select a plan A and plan B. Don't have to go into any depth into it yet, right? Then with the next assignment, that related occupations, these are looking at different options around that, because what if, you know, that I'm trying to think what some of the careers that you guys had chosen. What if pediatrician doesn't work out? Is there something else in the health field that's related to pediatrician that you could do, right? So it starts giving you a little bit of different options as well, just in case, right? For both your plan A and your plan B, okay? Then in the researching, that's when you really delved into each of those careers, right? You really went in depth and how much money do you make? You know, like where's the best place to live for this career? You know, that sort of thing, right? Hours behind, what are the working conditions like? All those different things. So you really delved into the actual career. Now this is the meat and potatoes, because this is really all good to say that you want to be a pediatrician or a surgeon or a vet or esthetician, or I'm just trying to throw out whatever else you guys had come up with, right? All good to say that. If you don't know the educational pathway to get there, you're going to have issues, right? What if you need to start thinking now about prerequisites to get into programs for university? Does your career even need university? Maybe it's more of a college, maybe it's an apprenticeship, maybe it's different, right? Maybe you find a different path. Super, super important. This is the meat and potatoes. This is the hard part, Okay, I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay, this is the hard part. Looking up the post-secondary options of your plan A and plan B. You really have to delve in here, all right? Because this is going to help set up for next year when you start doing course selection, because that's when it gets important, you guys. Your grade 11 and 12's years, set up your prerequisite courses for your university. Okay? Yep, that's right. That's right. Right, Belle? That's what you have to think about. You know, it's all good to say that you want to be a pediatrician, but do you understand that it's going to take you 12 years of schooling? Right? Do you understand? Yes, that you are going to come out in significant debt coming out of school. Okay? So you really have to, and this is why we always talk about your personality, right, Caitlin? Because I love how you said that. Because, I love how you say that, because obviously Caitlin's personality is very, very different than Belle's. Because Caitlin's like, oh God, 12 years of school? No way, right? That's why it's so important to know your strengths and who you are. That's why we always start with that when we talk about careers, right? So it's super, super, super important. Belle, it's so interesting that you say that, right? It's true, you will, but it's so funny because we actually did, as teachers, we went on a tour of our trades programs here in the Okanagan, and we talked to one of the professors who does one of the programs here in the Okanagan, the trade sampler program. And he was saying that actually coming out of an apprenticeship, right, which takes, you know, depends on how far you go with an apprenticeship, right, whether you go Red Seal, all of that. So it can take anywhere from 3 to like 5 to 6 years. Coming out of that, but the thing is because it's an apprenticeship, you're making money as you go. So people who are coming out of the trades actually come out ahead of doctors and surgeons and those high-end, what we think of as normally really good-paying careers and good-paying jobs. The tradespeople are actually coming out ahead because they have less debt, and they may be making less money, but they're coming out with less debt, right? So it's super interesting to think about that as well, right? Yeah, good. See, and Emily, that's really good to think about too. Could you sustain yourself being an author? Right? That is super, super important to think about. It might be your passion. It may be something that you just want to do. But yeah, right? It might not be able to economically sustain you. So that's a great thing. Maybe it's your plan B, right, Emily? Or maybe it's something that you do on the side, right? Because you are passionate about it, okay? Emily, the ASL interpreter, that'll be really interesting to look into. As well. I'm thinking schooling around that is super long too. Just, I don't know for sure. Don't know for sure. Do not quote me. But I think you have a lot of schooling to do with ASL. Yeah. Okay. Good. Excellent. Yeah, right? And again, Belle, it goes down to too, where are you willing to move? Right? That's another big thing. You know, if you're willing to go north into a remote community, you can make a lot of money and pay off those student loans like that. And sometimes actually student loans are forgiven for doctors if you go to a remote community. But could you live away from your family in a remote community, that sort of thing? Whew, right? Good, you guys. Good. All right, so that's what you're gonna do. So now when you go into your post-secondary options, what this is, you guys, is basically an extension of your career plan research, okay? So same thing, I've got a template for you guys, right? You're gonna use my blueprint. You're gonna log back into my blueprint because this is a phenomenal website that has thousands of schools in there that you're going to be able to research, okay? So just realize that you're going to have to do a lot of digging though, okay? Okay, so just be aware, you're going to look into programs, all of this, right? You're going to look into the cost, the prerequisites, all of that. And exactly, and don't get bogged down, like Belle said, right? When you want to become a doctor, there's steps that you have to take, right? You don't just graduate high school and go into university to be a doctor. There's not like a program to be a doctor. You have to take your first 4 years of a BA of Science, right? A Bachelor of Science, okay? Then you go on into doctor, right? Then you, or med school, right? That sort of thing. It's the same sort of thing as there's lots of programs like that, okay? So you got to do a little bit of background and know where you guys are going, okay? Yes, Belle, absolutely. Okay. So that is that. And again, you guys, it's all laid out just like how the other assignments were, right? It tells you how to get into my blueprint, where to go, where to look, okay, all of that sort of thing, okay? It gives you the format of how to lay out your presentation, okay? Absolutely, okay? Yeah, and that's why there's lots of different routes, right? That's why this is the important time to actually take the time, you guys, and do the research behind this, because there are a lot of different pathways to where you want to get to. So just beware of that, okay? Now, just let me close this up. Now, this is super important, and I've put these in here, you guys, to really help you out, okay? So this is a really great one. Does my post-secondary school qualify me for a student loan? Some schools, a lot of private schools, a lot of like smaller schools may not qualify you guys for student loans. But it's super easy. All you do is, if you guys just follow this link, click on this image. Most of the big schools do. I'll tell you that right now, right? Most schools will accept your student loans, okay? All you have to do is you have to find out if they're designated. So if you know you want to go, say you want to go to my alum, which is the University, maybe I should spell it right, University of Northern British Columbia, right? And then I just go down and look, there it is right there. Yes, it's designated. So yes, it's going to accept student loans. Yes, Jessica, you are doing this for both your plan A and your plan B, okay? Now, just because your school is designated though, does not always mean you're going to qualify. So keep that in the back of your mind, you guys. Take a look through this website. It actually is really, really good, okay? Determine your eligibility. This is another really big one, okay? So most of you guys will meet these requirements, the basic eligibility requirements, right? Most of you guys, if you plan on going to university, most of you guys will do this, right? You're a Canadian citizen, you have a SIN number, right? You're a resident of BC, all those sort of things. But you have to be able to demonstrate financial need. And this is super important. This has changed because when I was in university, you guys, basically, this was your eligibility right here, okay? And almost everybody was able to get student loans. Everybody, okay? Now, it's very, very different. Now it's based on a lot of, based on your parental contribution. So if mom and dad make a certain amount of money, you will not qualify for the full amount. You may only qualify for a partial amount. You may not qualify at all, okay? So it really, really depends, okay, you guys? So you need to do your research. If you need to, you might have to talk to mom and dad. That's right, Caitlin. You need to talk to mom and dad And you guys need to do some research together as well. Yep, absolutely. If your parents make too much money, you will not qualify for a student loan. I know, it sucks. Okay, so just beware of that. Like I would even have, you know, sometimes you may even need to phone, right? The student aid office. They'll have all the answers too. Now, that's just one aspect, right? For financing. This is a great calculator as well, you guys. So if you guys go into here, and we have put together probably the most common universities that kids in our program are looking to go to, okay? Yeah, probably Jess, yeah. Yeah, so you guys, right, like, you know, U of C, U of A, SFU, University of Toronto, right, all of this. If you guys click on these links, it'll help you calculate the cost of your program, okay? So this is a great little resource for you right here, okay? So now, again, if your university that you want to go to is not listed here, easy enough. If you just go to Google, you guys, type in the university or college and put cost calculator, there will hopefully be one there for you as well, okay? So that's another little resource that will help you figure out the cost of your education. This, I love this one, you guys. I wish I had this when I was, so Jocelyn, if UBC says it cannot be found, Google it and see what happens. Our link may have just been destroyed. I wish I had this, you guys, when I was in high school, okay? This is a great little resource around what can you actually do with your degree, okay? So I love this because I ended up, I don't know if I've probably told you guys this story, right? But I don't have my Bachelor of Education, okay? I have a Bachelor of Arts in Geography. Woohoo! So I've always known that I wanted to be a teacher. So that wasn't a huge concern for me. But my big thing is like, what if I didn't get into teaching college? What if I never got into a teaching program? What the heck am I going to do with a geography degree, right? I always wondered that. I was like, what could I do? Look right here, geography. And it takes you to a little PDF and it actually lists, right, all the different things that you could do, okay? So I could have, and believe me, when I look at this list now, I'm like, I could have never done these jobs ever in my life. But it's good to have the options out there, right? Okay, so a bachelor's degree, Caitlin, is a 4-year program. That's what a bachelor's degree is. So there is a difference between a bachelor's degree and, say, a diploma. A diploma is only 2 years. Then there's like certificate programs, which can range anywhere from like 6 weeks to, 2 years. So there's different types of certification, but a bachelor's degree is 4 years. Okay, so a lot of careers, Caitlin, a lot of careers say that you have to have your degree. Okay, so that's a prereq to get into a career. Sometimes, not always. It's very much changing. Okay, our economic system is changing a lot. Okay, yeah. Absolutely. Yep, Belle, that's the difference, right? So that's why we're doing this now for you guys, so that you can understand the difference and start doing a little bit of research, right? Caitlin, I am not asking you to plan your future, like right now. Your plan A might not happen. You might be a whole different person by the time you get to grade 12, right? I'm just getting you thinking about this and giving you the skills, right? Giving you the skills to research and go find the information that you need, right? That sort of thing. That's what this is all about, you guys. This is not set in stone at all, okay? Realize that, all right? So you guys can see this is a great little resource. So when you go back, right, you can see, you know, if you're going to get, you know, your science background, right? If you're going to get your Bachelor of Science, right? Maybe it's going to be in zoology. I don't know. What can you do with a Bachelor of Science in zoology? I don't know. Go take a look, right? That sort of thing. So another great little resource for you guys, just to give you some different options out there, right? So this is what I want you to focus on today for the rest of class, all right? So if you didn't get through the other ones, right, the selecting, your related occupations, all of that, start at the beginning, you guys. Don't just jump into the one that we're doing today. Start at the beginning, all right? Start at either personal inventory. Hopefully you guys all, I think most of you guys finished that one, but start with selecting your plan A and B, okay? So that's huge. That's all I have for you guys right now for live classroom. I want you to stay in Blackboard, okay, so that I can connect with you guys, make sure you're on track. I can help you guys do some research if need be, because this can get a little bit tedious, okay? So I want to be there to support you, so please stay in Blackboard. I'll head back to my office, and I can help you guys out as well, all right? So hold off on questions, okay? Hold off on questions. Give me about 5 minutes to get back to my office, you guys, and get set back up. And then I'll come back into Blackboard and get everything ready to go. All right? So you guys can get started on your assignments, and I'll head back to my office. All right? Bye, guys.